Okay, so I'm Matt Campbell. I have my own company, MC Chicago Casting. I'm also a producer at Halo Media, which that's where we do the Case Files TV show, and we also make crime documentaries, in which we've been able to sell some to Sundance, Showtime, Netflix, Apple, our works all over those sites. I'm also an actor and a model too, but I would love to tell you all about my movies and stuff because I'm excited about that, but I am here today to talk to you guys about casting and how to get booked, and I have a lot of insider tips for you guys that you guys can use in your application process and when you're trying to book some jobs for yourself. So the first rule is always know what you're applying for. It's just like if you're an accountant and you want to go apply at John Hancock, you want to research that company. When you go into the job, you want to know a little bit about them. So I've had it before where, I put a casting call up for the Case Files TV show and somebody was like, well, I don't even know what I'm walking into. And I said, well, girl, it's on the post. It says, this is we're looking for people to be in the reenactment scenes for the Case Files Chicago TV show that airs every Saturday on the CW. I don't know what else to say. Yeah. But I don't know, you acted like you were walking into like a Craigslist ad. You're in a host. So I'm like, so always know what you're applying for. There's a lot of people that I noticed that, they apply to every single thing that they might even remotely close fit. And that's okay, but just keep kind of a radar of kind of like what you applied for, and so when it does come back, if you do get a call back or you do get an inquiry about your availability, you're not like, okay, what was this for again? Yeah. You don't want to do that. The people are going to be turned off. The clients are not going to like that. Follow instructions. On the when you see if you see the posting for it, make sure you follow all the instructions. Send the email complete with all the information that was asked of you. Preparation. In terms of preparation, it's kind of annoying sometimes me submitting this stuff myself. It's kind of annoying to have to every time type in the whole thing. So what's easy and what I encourage people to do is have a template ready. Have a template ready and your drafts are on a file on your desktop so you can copy and paste your whole information. But don't stop there, because if you just send the full thing with more than information, like your shoes, that we didn't ask for shoe size or dress size, all this extra stuff, don't do that either. But it is easier to then copy paste the full thing, but then delete the shoe size, delete make sure it's still just what they asked for. Because people will talk about it. We'll throw the submissions on the flat screen and go through them, and if people there'll be comments like, oh, they didn't follow instructions, and so that's a big thing. Pictures. I wish he was still here. Pictures are huge, and it's probably one of the most important things in your submission process. Pictures alone, the better your pictures are, I think the better chance that you have to get booked. I think it's important to go see somebody like him at least once or twice a year and spend a little money on some really good quality shots. I also think it's important, and there's people out there that will charge a much more reasonable and feasible rate for you if you want to get some, especially for actors too, if you want to just get some fresh stuff for your submissions and just to put out there, so then even if you want to show different looks or just to have something fresh that you could add to your submissions, so it's not like the same pictures every time type of thing. So pictures are very important. So basically, in terms of the application process,
I have a quick
that's
question.
where you, yes.
For the pictures, how old or how far back for the pictures did you go?
Well, as long as you still kind of look like that now. We had an instance we had a job for a music video, and we needed a lady to play a suburban mom with blonde hair. Well, she sent all the pictures of the blonde hair, and then the day of the shoot, she called me and she's like, oh, by the way, I have pink hair now. Is that going to be a problem? And I was like, well, yeah, kind of, because suburban moms don't really have pink hair. So, thanks for telling me that. So that's very important. You don't want to, even if, let's just say, you might look better in the different color hair or something, at least make an indication hey, my hair is pink right now.
Yeah,
or my
put
hair
it on the application.
Yes. be very like thorough in your application process, and like guys, this is where the stuff's won, especially when you're applying on your own, like if your agent's not making you be like exclusive or whatever. This is where like a lot of it's won, and the simplest thing to do is just have your pictures, like have good pictures, and just follow the instructions, and don't be a brat, basically. When you're, yeah, like I've had people ask me all these questions, like, is this show even on TV or just YouTube? And I'm like, well, first of all, it's not on YouTube. It's not, if you just read and do 2 clicks, you could have watched like videos on the Case Files page. They have their own page for the show.
Absolutely.
You could have like looked at it. So I'm asking questions. I'm like, who's yeah,
Who's the person?
like, is my show on
I'm asking a
TV?
question.
Next, you know, so like, just always be mindful of that. Okay, the next big important thing is being professional on set, and I'm not here to like come down on you guys, but this is like a huge thing if you want to get rebooked by like the same company or something like that. So when you first arrive on set, make sure you go right to the check-in and take care of that business. Once that's handled, figure out what they want you to do next. It's okay, I know we're gonna always sometimes see like familiar faces or like new people that we might want to network with, and that's all fine. My suggestion is to just wait for a time, like figure out everything, what's going on first, what they want from you, where they're gonna send you, if you're going to hair and makeup first or whatever. Make sure, because you're there to work, you want to make sure that's all taken care of. Try to keep the networking and stuff like that minimalized to situations where like you're going all to the food, get the food table, go to craft food services, or getting, you know, the most important thing is to be attentive to what's going on if you're on a TV show or you're on a modeling set. Be always aware of like if somebody's gonna come around to like get you. You don't want to get caught like talking really loud or like this and that. Like when they come to get you, you want to be like, you can talk, but try to be quiet and, you know, do your thing. But like just always be aware of like what's going on around, and just always be ready. Like that should be the priority. Like get all your stuff ready, and then go to networking, share Instagrams and Facebook, and exchange all the information and talk to old faces that you might have like come across. There was a time early in my acting career where I did background work a little bit to just not only as for an actor, but like I wanted to observe how people did it on Chicago PD and like Empire, and like learn that way as a producer. So when I go do my producing jobs, I can learn that way. There was an instance where it was me, we were all playing SWAT team guys in like vests and tactical gear, and it was like 4 other guys and we were getting coffee, and the 4 other dudes were like talking, and I was just like I told you guys, just, I was listening to them, but I was also watching like if there's any producers or PAs or anybody gonna come around and like talk to us. Sure enough, this guy came up, he was one of he's an AD, I think, and he looks right at me, he's like, you come with me, and instantly I got like, he gives me a clipboard, he's like, sit, this is your desk. Write, like, just pretend you're writing something. As soon as the sergeant and the other dude come in, go right up to them and be like, can you sign this, sergeant, you know, whatever. And so, like, I just got bumped up from, like, walking around in the background, like, looking for evidence to, like, now I'm, like, a featured part of the scene. And that was just based off of just being ready and being attentive to the situation and not just, like, talking off on the side. So, and that's happened before to other people. If they see you and they're just ready to go, you might get bumped up. If you're a model too, background or featured stuff, I know Empire does a lot of stuff like that. That might be something good to do for your, you know, if just in the meantime you don't have a job booked for a certain day. They like to, you know, there might be featured models in a convertible, or like featured models in Chicago PD at the pool with the main characters walk by, and like it's integral part of the scene. Don't exclude yourself out from that. That can be something, you know, and it might be fun to add to your page. Like, hey, I did a TV show today. Like, I'm a model, but they wanted models for this, you know, something like that. Let's see, what else? Treat staff members with respect. Everybody's dealt with like a really rude or mean like PA or somebody that's like facilitating things. Doesn't matter. They're them, you're you. You're not rude. You're not, you always just, you don't have to bark back at them or like have an attitude. Just always remember, you're yourself and you need to conduct yourself as such. Doesn't mean if they're rude, that's terrible that they're a bad person. I'm sorry, you know?
Yeah,
but I'm not going to change myself to like.
Keep yourself neutral.
Exactly. So always remember that it's your brand still too and who you are. Yes, and exactly, and don't stoop to that
All of
level.
those PDs and producers be knowing each other.
Absolutely.
Other TV shows, so that'll mess up your chances of getting booked on any
And they'll
TV
call
show.
4-star really quick.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
One bad word and you're done.
Yeah. Always be aware. Okay, don't wander. We had this issue on a hair shoot last week for like a high-end, like a luxury brand, like for wigs and stuff. They were like looking for one of the models. They're like, where is she? Like they were at this really nice restaurant for the shoot that they got. They found her like on another floor, like in the kitchen, like taking selfies, like on the side. Like they're like, hey, we need you like down here. Like you're like up. Like and there was like a call sheet too for that shoot. There was like a whole schedule too and everything. So she knew that too. So they were telling me like, we're having a problem with this girl. Like so I had to talk to her. And if I cast for something for modeling, like. If it's either like music videos or like photo shoots or something like that, I'll usually go and just because I wanted to, you know, be almost like a bridge to it because I'm the one that found the girls.
Yeah.
And so for instances like that, but also there was times where like I got these girls for a music video. They wanted the girls to be, they wanted one girl to dress up as an office secretary, so like twerking around and stuff. I said, hold on a second. We don't, not every music video has to be twerking about. Like I go, there's a way you can make, I don't want her to be twerking in this thing. I'm like, you can do things like she comes up with a stack of papers, like you can make it sophisticated, classy, and it's still sexy. You don't have to, not everything has to revert back to twerking.
Good job.
So I will protect my model. Exactly. The director was shocked, but then when after it was done, he's like, "Dude, you were right, and this is actually better than if she was just twerking on the desk." I'm like, "Yeah."
The outfit she got on, that don't even match. Like I'm gonna be twerking in a
Right.
What?
Yeah.
That don't make sense.
So, and that's the thing too. Like a lot of music videos, they're looking for a model type girl to be the main girl of the story. Like a lot of them are cinematic stories. Not all of them are like just dancing in a club or something, or like. And that's why I try to encourage too. So anywhere I can, I will try to promote that. Like classy is still sexy.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be like out of control like that. So.
In this industry.
And so also every person you come across, just try to make a good impression because you never know who's gonna refer you to somebody. You never know who's gonna ask somebody for good models. You never, and they'll refer your name. And casting directors too. Like if somebody, I know if somebody brings me a job, I often first think like, well, who do I know? Who can I book before I even put the post up? You know, and I'll try to book people before I even put the casting call up. So if you did a great job for somebody, they'll remember that. And even some people that hired me, they're like, hey, if they were great, like we'll get them again. You know. And so just always remember that. Just try to keep that and try to make a good impression on people that you come across. Okay, so moving on to what casting directors are looking for in talent. Okay, so like I said earlier, your application process and your submission process is a huge part. That's what we do. We just go, we'll put it on the TV and we'll just go through the submissions. And what we usually do is just like write a list like the first time through of like potential people that could be good for this role for acting or like could be good for this modeling gig. Then we go back again and now it's like, now we got a shorter list, you know? So your application process is so huge. Like I said, the pictures are such a huge part. Your past history with the company can get you another job, like keep booking again, leaving a good impression, like I said. I guess I just said all this stuff just before this, but yeah, just make sure, you know, always be aware of yourself. Like always be aware. You never know. Like you just want to be always on your best behavior, and you don't want to be the one, you know, that PAs have to go tell the casting company like, don't book this person again.
Yeah.
You know.
Because they will do it.
They will.
We have questions?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was the first person, sorry. But everything that you was pretty much like saying, I experienced that this year as getting booked on Empire, because this was my first year getting booked on Empire as an extra twice. So, like, it was my first time seeing how behind the scenes work as far as like how you were saying assistant PDs and like, I was able to meet some of them and see like, you know, like how they move and how they operate and like how you were saying, you know, like as far as what they looking for, I could say like that's true, cause like I experienced that, cause I was just like, you know, they say like, you know, quiet on the set, like be quiet. It was like literally still people like talking. It was like no phones, you know, like they called somebody like, it was before my crowd, but like somebody had a phone and they leaked the production, one of the production scenes.
Yeah, Empire has a lot of trouble with that.
Yeah, so like, so they was like real strict on the phones. We had to lock up our phones. We could only check it in the phone area. We couldn't walk around in the break room with it or anything.
Exactly.
And then like another thing I had noticed, like I guess the guy, one of the PDs on the show was like looking for somebody. And like looking for somebody to play somewhere, and then they was like, "Ooh, pick me," and he was like, "When you say pick me, I'm not gonna pick you."
Right.
So like, can you kind of explain why would they say something like that? Like if you tell them like they looking for something, they were like, "Oh, pick me," and then he was like, "I want you to understand, like as much as you say pick me, I'm not gonna pick you. I'm gonna pick somebody else."
2 reasons. First of all, what I noticed you said, like they were looking for somebody else. They will remember that. Like, where's the girl in the red top? We wanted to place her here, and if they come looking for you and you're not there, like. Wow, like I'm so that's horrible. The second thing is if the pick me thing, why they won't pick you is because like people they just get attacked by so many annoying people every day. Yeah, and so and it's like desperation. Like you don't want to be desperate. That's the one thing I did forget to talk about. I'm glad you brought that up. Desperation is not a good characteristic to have. You want to find this happy zone where it's like, let's just say if you do a scene with Terrence Howard, one guy I saw, he went up to him afterwards with his phone or like tried to like talk to him. There's like, you want to approach the situation like with her that just spoke, you know, it's like when we message her, if anybody wants to reach out to her, it's about kind of like how you go about it. You don't want to be too desperate. Don't want to come off as desperate. Just be humble and just like, hey, you know.
Just be yourself, baby.
Yeah.
So in terms of like, you know.
And I noticed that too. Like that was an issue that was like had to all of that happened behind the scenes on Empire.
Oh, it's an everyday problem.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted you guys to know.
And then some of the same PDs from Empire was on another show I got booked for called Infamy. It was a pilot show.
Yeah.
Infamy. So like some of the same producers from that show was on this show. I was like, oh, I remember you. So like, and some of them remember my face.
Now let's just say you made it. You had a small conversation with one of those producers.
And I did.
Now it's appropriate to add them on Facebook, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But don't add them from nowhere or whatever. Like you didn't meet them yet. And also, like to put it into perspective, like I have some friends that make their own films, and you know, if I want them to act in it, I won't like. I might drop like a little bit. Hey, if you need me for the film, let me know. Not like, hey, like. Am I in? Can I be in it? Can I be in it? Just one, like, just hey, like, if you need me, let me know. I've had people like that I'm friends with on Facebook still, but like they auditioned for one of the pilots that I'm producing or like a film that I'm producing. They keep messaging me, hey, I said, well, like, dude, we said you get an email by Sunday if you would hear by Sunday if you get the part.
Absolutely.
And then he keeps messaging me like, did I get it? He messaged the writer, we're like, dude, we're not gonna ever want to work with you.
Yeah.
Right, it's impatient.
Because now I feel awkward.
Yeah.
It's hard enough for me, like
And that's something I noticed with like Guild Talent too. Like when I went to the casting call, they was like, you know, okay, the casting call was Saturday. They was like, do not hit us up on Tuesday, following up, and it's that. They was like, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like you pretty much you gotta like you could follow up, but like you're like it was just Saturday, so they not gonna no way they gonna have an answer by Tuesday or the week after they had a lot of auditions and seen like a lot of people in one day.
Yeah.
So it's gonna take time.
Yeah, just use common sense and just don't be overly like, you know, desperate or annoying or like that. That's like you saw like they pick me
everything.
And they're like no, I will not. Be like, you know. So that's just stuff that goes on. Yeah.
I've been at Empire. I started doing background work in the modeling thing probably about, I'm 47 now. I started when I was like 45. So, so when I first started, I started off doing a lot of background stuff, Empire, Chicago PD, Chicago Med, Chicago Justice, all those different shows, and you do see a lot of the same people, the same PDs, you know, you're working with a lot of the same people, and once you see them for a while, you kind of get to know them, and you don't do it in an irritating way, like Matt said, you don't want to inundate them, you know, be all on top of them,
Right.
but they just will happen to see you, you know, you speak to them
Mhm.
and, you know, they'll get to know you after a while, and the whole background thing for me got, like I said, I was 45 at the time that I started. The background thing for me got old a little fast. It was fun at first.
Yeah.
But after I'd done it for about 3-4 months, I was like, yeah, it's a little much. Especially when Empire took the phones away, said no more phones, because they did
Now
have a lot
what
of
do you do
issues.
now?
Right, I'm like, what in the heck am I supposed to do for 9 hours while I'm on set? So I don't do background for Empire anymore. But because of the fact that I got to know a lot of the PDs and, you know, the people that work there, when they need a stand-in now, they call me for that. The stand-ins can keep their phones.
And that's what can happen too. It's
Yeah, the
like,
stand-ins get more
So, hey,
money.
You just
I know,
be
'cause I
cool,
can keep
be
my
good,
phone.
Put it on your resume.
Right,
They're
you
gonna
can stand there
notice.
work on your resume. You can't put background work on there, but the background work, a lot of people think, well, if I start doing background, then next thing you know, I could be a main character on the show. That might not happen, but you
Right.
can build relationships and network, and you can become a stand-in, you can become a featured extra. So there are other things you can do from background if you're on set making a good impression and not trying to do too much.
Exactly, and it sounds like you're
Because
doing it the
pick-me
right way.
people, they don't want to be bothered with them, because like Shatima said, that's annoying. Who wants to be annoyed?
And if you're there and you're working and you're doing a good job, they're gonna notice eventually. And like you said, they will hit you up
Right.
with bigger things like stand-in, now you're Taraji stand-in. And
I'm not
that's a-
Taraji
I know,
standing,
I'm just
but
saying, like,
right.
now all of a
Right.
sudden you're standing
Yeah,
in
so
for
yeah, they
day
were calling, and
players.
they're calling for different day players. I mean, I stood in for Nicole Ari Parker before. I look nothing like her, nothing. I'm taller than her, I got dreadlocks, I mean, we look nothing alike.
Yeah.
They just need a body though, and they need somebody that they know is gonna get there on time. You're gonna
Right.
be where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there, you're gonna pay attention, you know.
Right.
And that's just what they're looking for. And if you've shown them before that you're dependable, then they know we can use you for the part, even if you don't look anything.
Right though, they will notice and they will get called back for something better. And yeah, you just can't be too like annoying about it, you know. That's what I was gonna say. I know it can get really exciting if it's the first time somebody like works on a TV set or a big modeling shoot and you're just really excited to be there. And this is something that you love doing, you want to do it. Well, guess what? Like, if you want to do it more, you gotta chill out and be cool. Like, just listen and like do what they want you to do first. It's your job, and then you will be here more instead of just a few times. So don't get too excited.